Mahaparinirvana Day, the day of enlightened souls, the memory of all those who attain enlightenment and leave the body, with the initiation and grace of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism performed the final rituals as is to be done for enlightened souls. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gave Antima Sannyas as per the Hindu tradition to his biological father as part of the final ceremony. Since his father attained the enlightenment before leaving the body, there are very few blessed souls who are chosen to be parents of the avatar. The sannyas was given amidst much celebration for the enlightened souls. The Hindu civilization, there are many references of how an avatar, an incarnation, has liberated and enlightened a being and given them Antima Sannyas after they leave the body. One such reference is from the life of the Adi Shankaracharya. The Adi Shankaracharya gave Antima Sannyas to his pre-monastic mother while performing her last rites and liberating her. Adi Shankaracharya received the news that his mother was seriously ailing. He left his disciples and proceeded to Kaladi alone, his birthplace. in Kerala. His mother was bedridden. Shankara touched the feet of his mother in reverence. He praised Lord Hari. Hari's messenger came. Shankara's mother gave up her physical body and went along with those messengers to the abode of Hari. On November 12, 2005, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nityananda Paramashivam, liberated and blessed his pre-monastic father, Sri Nitya Arunachalananda Swami, with the ultimate enlightenment of Antima Sannyas. The cremation was at the Kailasa in Tiruvannamalai, an expanse land donated by the maternal grandfather of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Raja Mudaliyar. During that, when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's pre-monastic father, Sri Nitya Arunachalananda Swami, was leaving the body, actually, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was in Bangalore giving the discourses on Ashtavakra Gita, a 3-day satsang. It was the third day and the final day of the Ashtavakra discourses in Bangalore. The topic that evening was enlightenment. Suddenly, the secretary of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for Indian Affairs at that time came flying and whispered something to him on the stage. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism covered the mic with his one hand and listened calmly to the secretary who was conveying the message that of the father's condition. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism made a gesture that I will take care. Just then, the secretary came and said, Amma, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nityananda Paramashivan's father, has attained Mahasamadhi, the final liberation. All of us, the narration of one of the disciples who witnessed all this happening, all of us are leaving for Tiruvannamalai as soon as Swamiji finishes. Please round up all acharyas, the teachers and healers. Gather them at one place. At no point should your body language reveal that I have just now conveyed to you. Swamiji wants you, the message that Swamiji gave to all, that at any point of time, your body language should not show any anxiety. You should all remain calm and act with spiritual maturity. Then Swamiji blessed each and every one in the queue, taking as much time as he would during the satsang in the normal course of event. When we reached Tiruvannamalai, Swamiji addressed us, go inside and pay respects. Be with my mother. See to it that no one disturbs her. I don't want anyone wailing and weeping and creating scenes. I found the atmosphere to be strange. I could not put my finger on it. Then it suddenly dawned on me that no one was crying. Everyone sat quietly. I had witnessed many deaths in my family. The ambience had always been one of the great grief, wailing, shouting, and calling out to the departed souls is the rule rather than the exception. We sat around Amma, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's mother, who was an inspiration to us. She sat on Swamiji's, and there was an air of innocence and dignity in her demeanor. She aligned her wishes to her son and her Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. She exhibited a total childlike trust in him. As she simply and beautifully puts it, Swami, என்னடு இருக்கும் போது வேற என்னமா எனக்கு வேணும் அவர் எல்லாமே பொட்டு பொருமா. The translation, what she said in Tamil was, when Swamiji himself is with me, what more can I ask for? He will take care of everything. She showed a high level of spiritual maturity that is rare for a person, especially a woman born and brought up in a small town, Tiruvannamalai. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained when my secretary came up and on stage and informed me that my father was no more. I passed a while and related to his energy. I clearly saw that before his death, my father had gone into an enlightened state and he stayed there for at least 21 minutes. He had attained Mahasamadhi, the great liberation. Then he had relaxed beautifully into the all-pervading consciousness. I told Ayya to relax and carry on with the necessary arrangements. In those few moments of relating, I did whatever I had to be done at the initial stage for the soul to move on. I had to take care of the people who had come for my blessings at the discourse, and they too need me. Only a person in the Paramahamsa, the Supreme Fan, that state can be so unattached, compassionate, and unconditionally available at all times for those who seek him, no matter what the situation is. In those few moments, the teachings of Ashtavakra, you are by your nature unattached, renounced, liberated. You are the all-pervading, witnessing consciousness had been expressed through Swamiji's sheer body language. The profound truths of the scriptures must be lived. Here, before our eyes, was a living example. Masters do not teach. Their life is their teachings. If you are alert and awake around the Master, you can learn within moments what years of poring over great philosophies cannot teach you. Swamiji said, I have blessed him with the ultimate gift of enlightenment. His energy will never again be converted into matter. He has left his body smoothly, without pain. He is relaxed and relating with me. Swamiji said to his Brahmanistic father, biological mother, Amma, nee kavalaipadade, na paathikiran. He said, Amma, you don't worry, I will take care. So saying, Swamiji stood up, walked to the glass coffin, and very lovingly, with a beautiful smile on his face, blessed his father's body. Swamiji was the living truth that he had spoken of so many occasions. In all those meditation programs, Swamiji showed us the way to receive death, the way to handle the dead and the living. No book can give this understanding, this kind of confidence. I understood why Swamiji was particularly careful, so maintaining a deeply joyous atmosphere. Why was Swamiji insistent that no one should weep and wail? As far as my understanding goes, when the soul leaves the body, it is essential that the atmosphere is light, suffused with spiritual understanding, awareness, and a mood of deep celebration. Then we make it easier for the soul to move on smoothly to the next dimension. This is the greatest gift of love we can give to anyone. This is the ultimate act of selflessness that Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism lived and radiated by example. When we cry, when we grieve, we create such a heavy atmosphere that the soul struggles to leave. We cause an obstruction. This is the greatest act of cruelty that we can commit. And all the while, we suffer from the misconception that if we weep, we tell the departed soul how much we love them. I sat next to the coffin. Each time I turned my gaze to my left, I looked directly at the face of the Swamiji's father. I was surprised that at no time did I feel disturbed by this physical proximity to the dead body. Our energies, instead of being tight and confined to our boundaries through fear and grief, were expanding and relating to the high level of enlightened energy present in the room. The moment of death can be a process of deep alchemy for the dying and for the living. Since this blessed soul had attained Mahasamadhi, the energy it radiated, combined with the powerful vibrations of an enlightened master's presence, had the power to transform all those tuned to it, This was exactly what Swamiji was working on. I noticed that there had not been any change in the physical condition of the body. Death had arrived on 12th evening, and now it was the 14th morning. The body was intact as it had been on the first day that we had seen it. No doubt it was kept on ice, yet not a single change has happened. Considering the low level of sophistication of that glass coffin and the heat of Tiruvannamalai. The face radiated the same sacredness. There was no odor of decay. The use of agarbattis, incense sticks, and room freshness has stopped long ago. Then, closing the doors and windows formally, Swamiji asked one of the disciples to play Ananda Darshan music. The room exploded to the beat of the Energy Darshan songs, with everyone singing and clapping. There was a great build-up of energy in the closed room. When Swamiji placed his Ajna chakra, the energy center between the eyebrows, Tattvamasi, 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 then uttered those Sanskrit Mahavakyas, the great declaration that you are Brahman, you are consciousness, thou art that. I am the ultimate reality. Energy transfer must have surely taken place. I cannot even begin to understand its meaning. Then, with an absolute grace, Swamiji removed his turban and put it on his father's head. A Rudraksha rosary was placed around his neck. The moments that followed are frozen in time in our memoirs. Something in me gave way. I felt an ecstatic connectivity. Shiva was no longer a mere concept for me. He danced before my eyes. I realized that the updated version of Shiva is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nityananda Paramashiva. It blew my mind. Something in me died forever for something else to blossom. Later, just before the doors were opened to let people in, one healer echoed the feeling in all our hearts when he said, Swamiji, if this is how death is going to be, I am ready to die now. We would like to take a moment to point out that the ritual of singing, dancing, and rejoicing is still a major part of all our Maheshwara Puja when celebrated in Kailasa, as we just learned that when the souls leave this body, it is essential that the atmosphere is light, suffused with spiritual understanding, awareness, and a mood of deep celebration, that we make it easier for the soul to move on smoothly to the next dimension, travel to the higher lokas. This is the greatest gift of love that we can give it to anyone who left the body. This is the ultimate act of selflessness. The next moments were all about history being created in the Kailasa in Tiruvannamalai. For the first time, women were allowed to accompany the funeral procession to this cremation area. The most poignant and unbelieving scene was that of Amma, the wife of the departed soul, walking alongside the vehicle, rhythmically clapping her hands to the beat of the devotional song. I do not think this happens to any person who lost her husband in the society, let alone in a small temple town like Tiruvannamalai. What astonishing courage that Swami Amma exhibited. The way the body was positioned was symbolic. At one end was the sacred Arunachala hill. At the other end was Swamiji, the enlightened master, the formless and the form on either side. Swamiji informed the gathered crowd that as a sannyasi who had cut all family ties, he could not perform last rites of his father as a son would traditionally be expected to do. However, as a guru, it was his responsibility to conduct the rites of passage of his disciple. Swamiji recalled that when he had asked his father what kind of help he needed, his father answered simply, Swami, Irundapadam, meaning, if you are there, that is enough. Swamiji told us, at that moment, he became my disciple. That complete, total trust is enough. Nothing else is needed. This was a promise from none other than Paramashiva himself. As Swamiji's father's energy had traveled directly from a conscious state to a superconscious state without slipping onto the unconscious coma state, and had remained in that exalted level for 21 minutes, he had become enlightened. Therefore, he could not be cheated in a normal way. Also, since he had been conferred with Antima Sannyas, final renunciation and enlightenment, the body had to be cremated with honors conferred upon enlightened souls. It was like a spiritual salute of honor to a departed war hero. On this occasion, special, auspicious day of the Mahaparinirvana Day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has declared that all his initiated disciples who lived with integrity to Guru, Linga and Sangha, all the disciples who are integrated to the Guru, Linga and Sangha are liberated. So Mahaparinirvana Day is observed in Kailasa on Kartika Shukla Dwadashi, on the Kartika month, the lunar month, Shukla Dwadashi, 12th day of the waxing moon. It is the day we offer the Sraddha, that is the last rice, and Pinda Pradana, the food offering, to all the initiated disciples of Nityananda Sampradaya, Nityananda tradition, who left the body. All of them who are residing in Kailasa, in Salokya Mukti with Paramashiva, the space where Paramashiva, the Supreme Godhead, and the cosmic principle as per Sanatana Hindu Dharma. They are the disciples who lived with integrity to the Guru, the deity, the Linga, and the Sangha, the community. We celebrate by giving the Maheshwara Puja, the ritualistic worship of Paramashiva, Maheshwara, to all the sannyasis. I myself will be sitting and accepting all the Maheshwara Puja and giving Sardha, says Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says that I accept myself the Maheshwara Puja and giving Sardha, Pinda Tarpana, the Pitru Tarpana, the Pitrus are ancestors, to all the devotees, initiated disciples who left the body. Today is the day of my father, Sri 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 Nitya Arunachaleshwarananda Swami, left the body and had the Kaivalya Padavi, the place in Kailasa, the Shiva Padavi, on 12th November 2005. Maheshwara Puja is celebrated every year on the lunar calendar anniversary of 12th November 2005, the day of Sri Nitya Arunachaleshwarananda Swami attained the enlightenment and left the body. Participating in this unique ritual brings completion to us with all our past, leading to manifestation of spiritual powers in our life. When we then start manifesting what we want from the space of oneness with Paramashiva, reviving this most ancient ritual of Kailasa as a mainstream ritual for humanity is one amongst the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism unique contribution to rebuilding a peaceful planet. So, I welcome you all. Let's celebrate the presence of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, gracing us on this occasion of the Mahaparinirvana Day. Let's all sit with the deep face of gratitude and oneness space. Let's all chant the Mahavakya. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Muted me. You muted me. ममो पार्थ समस्त विचक्षयद्वारा सद्गुरु प्रीत्यर्थं शुभे शोभने मुहूर्ते आद्य ब्रह्मणः द्वितीय परार्धे श्रीशेषवराह कल्पे वैवस्वतमन्वन्तरे अष्टाविंशतितमे नित्ययुगे प्रथमे पादे जम्बू
Nitanda. It's Mahaparinirvana's and all the initiated disciples offering our devotion and respects and Shraddha, Pindadarpana, food for all of them is the celebration of Mahaparinirvana. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, Bhagavan Shri Nityananda Paramashivam, will be accepting the Maheshwara Puja, Shraddha, Pindadarpana, Pitrudarpana to all the initiated disciples who left the body. Today is the day when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Shri Nityananda Paramashivam's biological father, Arunachalananda, had attained Mahasamadhi, enlightenment, and had Kailaya Padavi, Shiva Padavi. Now, requesting all the Maheshwara Puja participants and the monastic members of the Nityananda order to be seated with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Please which is internally process, understand, and declare the truth that cosmic energy exists. Yes, I authentically cognize, which is internally process, understand, and declare the truth that the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nityananda Paramashivam, is the Chinmaya Vigraha, the embodiment and representation of that very cosmic energy. Yes, I authentically cognize, which is internally process, understand, and declare the truth that the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nityananda Paramashivam, is a channel for complete completion to be achieved for all the departed souls, and for completion be achieved for all the participants with the departed souls. Yes, I authentically cognize, which is internally process, understand, and declare the truth that during the Maheshwara Puja, all the monastic members of the Nityananda order become a pure channel for complete completion to be achieved for all the departed souls, and for completion to be achieved for all the participants with the departed souls. Yes. I authentically cognize, which is internally process, understand, and declare the truth that offering of the Maheshwara Puja will bestow complete completion for all the departed souls whose photo or horoscope mentioned here, and completion will be bestowed on all Maheshwara Puja participants with the departed souls for whom they are offering Maheshwara Puja here today. Yes. We will now begin the rituals for the Maheshwara Puja.
एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं तं नमामि एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं नमामि नित्यानन्दे शिव समा
உணவு படைக்கும் ஆனந்தேஸ்வரி தெய்வம் இங்கு உணவு படைக்கும் ஆனந்தேஸ்வரி வரப்பிரசாதம் பெற்றிடவே பெற்ற வரம் யாமறியோம் ஆனந்தேஸ்வரி ஆனந்தேஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தேஸ்வரி உயிர்க்கெல்லாம் உணவளிக்கும் ஆனந்தேஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தேஸ்வரி ஆனந்தேஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தேஸ்வரி உயிர்க்கெல்லாம் உணவளிக்கும் ஆனந்தேஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தேஸ்வரி
अनुरागिनिवासन् नामः गुप्ता नामधेयस्य लीला गुप्ता प्रिय गुप्ता नामधेयस्य श्रीनिवास नामधेयस्य देवन राघवरी नामधेयस्य घटनाथ राघवरी नामधेयस्य केशव वासुदेव राघवरी नामधेयस्य विवेक बंधन सकुटुंब जन्मगोत्र ईर्षान विराशुषात कुंडा नाम कुटुंब च्ययु नाम यह यु नाम यह Chuan Liu Namadhesya Brahma Kapa Vishwa Swarupa Shriha Sonadashanta Malami Shriha Chisundara Guru Yadulyavatara Shri Parvati Avatara Shri Parvati Sanya Shiva Karuna Samadhi Guru Yadulyavatara Yavana Shri Ramara Shri Jannati Haladi Samasta Virala Moda Paramatagala Bhagiri Shiva Siddhanta Sthavanacharya Shri Raja Dhiraja Vanya Maharaja Guru Shamana Shakyati Mahandagara Nivarana Jnana Bhadu Ikshana Rahara Duddochedana Purvaka Srimad Madhvaja Sthapaka Shiva Samaya Kale Sarvakabidha Rudha Shri Jagat Guru Shri Jnana Sambandha Deshika Swami Bhagyeesha Sundara Mani Bhuta Shri Jnana Sambandha Swami Manatrita Shamala Bhiratra Pratrita Guru Mahaparinirvana Arunachala Sarvajya Pita Guru Mahasannidhana Kailasa Paramparagata Kanchi Kailasa Sarvajya Pihatraya Sucharuttara Dvishatata Guru Mahasana Nitya Ramala Nijalya Nitya Kailasa Paramparagata Siddhara Mahasamsthana Mahasimhasana Pita Katre Sakshat Shri Paramashiva Samudbhuta Kailasa Paramparagata Vaivasvatamanu Ikshvaku Harishchandra Bhagirath Shri Ramachandra Shorena Ityadi Mandita Shashti Sampradara Dharma Shasana Swam Shadahita Surandisa Dhamma Sarad Sri Parashamauta Kapila Mahaguru Mahaparinirvana Pita Ashtottara Sahasra Shri Maheshwara Sakshat Shri Shiva Sabha Mahaganapati Samarambhavan Pithadishwara Guru Parampara Prapta Atala Pita Ashtottara Sahasra Shri Atala Pithadishwara Kama Bhakti Sargapura Swarna Pita Triyo Vimsha Guru Mahasannidhana Kailasa Paramparagata Adipita Sarvajya Pita Guru Shri Kailasa Puradhaka Shri Kailasa Paramacharya Shrimat Paramahamsa Parivrahacharya Valya Satchidananda Pranavaswarupa Shrotriya Brahmanista Shri Jagaro Shri Shri Dham Shri Nityananda Paramashiva Shri Nyasambandha Deshika Sarvesham Pratyartham Etesham Devanukatavarmendravarganam Dehamukti Bhaktira Paramaswarupa Vakadrinananda Maheshwara Puja Khyakar
We will now be chanting the 15th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita.
Partaya Pradivoditam Bhagavatam Narayana Swayam Vyasena Gradhitam Purana Muninam Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitaamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambartvamanusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhagavadveshini प्राहुरव्ययम् छन्दांसि यस्य वर्णानि यस्तं वेद स वेदवित् श्रीभगवान् says the imperishable banyan tree of life symbolized by the Ashwatha has its roots above with the leaves and branches spreading below the earth. The leaves are said to be the Vedic hymns. One who knows this eternal tree becomes the knower of the Vedas. Adhashchodhvam prasrutastasya shakha punah pravriddha vishaya prabalaha adhascha moolanjanusantadani karmanubandhini manushya-loke. The branches of this tree extend below and above the earth. Nourished by the three human attributes guna, its buds are the sense objects. This tree also has roots going down, and these are bound to the resultant actions of the humans. Narupavasyeha tadopalabhyate nanto na chadir na cha sampradishtha ashvattamenam suvirodhamulam achanga shastrena dridhena chitva. The real form of this tree cannot be perceived. No one can understand where it ends, where it begins, or where its foundation is. But with determination one must cut down this strongly rooted tree with the weapon of detachment. Tadaf padam tat parimargitavyam yasmin gatana nivartanti bhuyaha tameva chadyam purusham prapatye yata pravritte prashrita purani. One must then seek that place from which having gone one never returns, and surrender to the Supreme Being from whom all activities started from ancient times. Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha adhyatma nitya vinivritta kamaha dvandvair vimukta sukha dukha sangyaihi gacchantya buddha padamavyayam tade. Those who are free from pride, delusion and attachment, those who dwell in the self, who are done with lust, who are free from dualities of joy and sorrow, not confused, and those who know how to surrender to the Supreme Person in the eternal consciousness. Na tadbhasayate suryo na shashanko na pavakaha yad gatva na nivartante tadhama paramam mama. That Supreme Spirit of eternal consciousness. My consciousness is not illuminated by the sun or by moon or by fire. Those who enter that space never return to this material world. Amaivaamsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha manashani indriyani kritisthani gade. The living entities in this conditioned material world are a portion of my eternal self in this conditioned material world. They are attracted by the six senses, which include the mind, dwelling in Prakriti, the active energy principle. Shariram yada apnoti yachapyutkramati ishvaraha grihitva etani samyati Mayurandhani Vachare. Spirit in the mind body living in this material world moves from one body to another, carrying this just as air carries aroma. Stotram chakshus sparshanam cha ratanam ghanameva cha adhishtaya manashchayam vijayam sevate. The living entity, the spirit, leaves one body, takes some other body, and gets new eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and sensing body, according to the samskaras it had in the causal layer, and enjoys the new mental setup. Upramantam sthitam vapi bhunjanam vagunanvitam vimukha Chakshusha spirit. Being united with the gunas as enters and rise and leaves the body, the one whose inner eye is open clearly perceives everything. Tanto yoginaschainam paschantyatmanyavasthitam yadanto prakritatmano nainam paschantya chetasaha. The serious practitioner of yoga with an understanding of his self can see all this clearly, but those who have an understanding of the self, however much they try, cannot see. Yadadityagatam tejo jagat bhasayate kham yachandramati yachakmo tattejo vidhi mamakam. The light of the sun, the light of the moon, and the light of fire, all their radiance is also from me. Kama vishya cha bhutani dharayam yamojasa bhushami josha sarva somo bhutva rasatmakaha. Entering into earth, I support all being my energy. Becoming the watery moon, I nourish all plant life. Aham Maheshwara bhutva pranina dehamashtaha pranapana samayuktaha pachanyannam chaturvidham. I am the fire in every living body. I am the breath of life, exhale and inhale, which is Mapohanam da. Vedesya sarvairahameva veyo, Vedanta graya videva chaham. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me came every knowledge and the loss. I am known by the Vedas indeed. I created and I am not Piyusho Loke Shastakshara Sarvani Bhutani Bhutastokshara Uchyade. There are two things, the perishable and the imperishable in this world. There are the living beings who are perishable, while there is the unchangeable, the imperishable. Uttama Purushastvanya Paramatmetyudahrudaha Yo Lokatrayamavishya Vibhartyavyaya Ishwaraha. Besides these two, there is the Supreme Purusha, the Lord Himself, who pervades and sustains these three worlds. Yasmaksharamati Aksharatapi Chottamaha Atosmi Loke Vedecha Pratitah Purushottamaha. As I am transcendental, beyond both the perishable and the imperishable and the best, I am declared both in the world and in the Vedas as the Supreme Person Purushottama.
Yo mame mama sammudho janati purushottamam sasarva vidbhajati mam sarva bhavena bharata. Whoever knows me as the Supreme without a doubt is to be understood as the knower of everything, and he worships me with all his being. O son of Bharata, iti guhyatamam shastram idhamuktam maya nagha etat buddhva buddhiman sad kritagratya.
Bharata, this is the profound teaching taught by me, O sinless one, and whoever knows this will become wise, and his actions will bear fruit. Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Purushottama Yogo Nama Panchadashodhyayaha. In the Upanishad of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the scripture of yoga dealing with Brahma Vidya, Yoga Shastra, the science of Brahman, the Supreme Absolute, in the form of Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvada, the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna. This is the 15th chapter named Purushottama Yoga, the Yoga of the Supreme Being. Vasudeva Vasudam Devam Kamsajanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. We will now continue with the Manasa Puja. Padmamasanam dadyat sahasrarachyutam hridayeh padyam jaranam dadyat manastu argyam nivedayet tenamriteya achamaniyam sthaniyam tena jasmridam akashadattvam vastram syat gandhasyat gandhadatvagam Chittam pragalpayet pushpam Dhupam pranan pragalpayet Tejas tattvam cha deepakam Naivedyam syat sudham buddhi Anatattva nirghanta Vayu tattvam cha chamaram Sahasraram bhavet kshatram Shabda tattvam cha geetakam Nrityam indriya karmani Chanchalyam manasasthatha Sumekalam padmamalam Pushpam nanavidham tatha Amayatye dhava pushpaihi Archaye dhava gocharam Amayam manahangaram Aragam madam tatha Amohakam madam vamcha Adveshaksho tatha Amatsariyam alobham cha Rajapushpam vidurbudah Ahimsa paramam pushpam Pushpam indriya nigraha Daya pushpam shama pushpam Jnana pushpam cha panchamam Iti panchadasher bhava pushpaihi Sambodhayet bhagavantam Shri Nityananda Paramashivam. We will now begin the Darshan Puja. Om Hrim Ekpadyam Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nityananda Paramahansa Namaha. Om Hrim Esharyah Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nityananda Paramahansa Namaha. Om Hrim Idam Achamaniyam Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nityananda Paramahansa Namaha. Om Hrim Idam Snaniyam Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nityananda Paramahansa Namaha. Om Hrim Idam Vastram Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nityananda Paramahansa Namaha. Om Hrim Esha Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nityananda Paramahansa Namaha. Om Hrim Idam Sajandana Pushpam Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nityananda Paramahansa Namaha. Om Hrim Idam Sajandana Bilva Patram Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nityananda Paramahansa Namaha. Om Hrim भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परम शिवाय नमः। ओम ह्रीं एष दिवः सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परम शिवाय नमः। ओम ह्रीं इदं सोपकर्ण नैवेद्यं सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परम शिवाय नमः। ओम ह्रीं एष दीपः सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परम शिवाय नमः। ओम ह्रीं इदं सोमकर्ण नैवेद्यं सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परम शिवाय नमः। ओम ह्रीं इदं पानार्थोदकं सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परम शिवाय नमः। ओम इदं पुनरागमनीयं सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परम शिवाय नमः। रात्रिकम् राजाधिराजाय प्रसंज्ञसाहिने नमोऽयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे कामान् कामकामाय मह्यम् कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः। कर्पूरगौरं वै श्रवणाय करुणारसारसारं जगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। आरात्रिकं समर्पयामि भगवन् श्री नित्यानंद परम शिव चरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। पुष्पाञ्जलिः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अनेकजन्म सम्प्राप्त कर्मबन्ध विदाहिने आत्मज्ञानप्रदानेन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। मन्नाथ श्री जगन्नाथो मद्गुरु श्री जगद्गुरुः ममात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुराज्ञेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमपर्याप्तयेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। नित्यानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतम् भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि पुष्पाञ्जलिं समर्पयामि भगवते नित्यानन्दशिवचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः।
தங்களை மாற்றி இங்கு கருணையுடன் வாழ்வில் கரையேற்றுகிறாய் ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி உயிர்க்கெல்லாம் உணவளிக்கும் ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி உயிர்க்கெல்லாம் உணவளிக்கும் ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி சம்ஸ்காரங்கள் கரைந்து இங்கு ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நாங்கள் சம்சார கடல் கடக்க ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி ஏழுடல்கள் கடந்து நித்ய வாழ்வினிலே நிலை பெறவே நித்யானந்த ஸ்பூரணம் தந்தாய் ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி உயிர்க்கெல்லாம் உணவளிக்கும் ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி உயிர்க்கெல்லாம் உணவளிக்கும் ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி தெய்வத்திற்கு படைத்த உணவை ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி பிரசாதமாய் உண்டதுண்டு ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி தெய்வம் இங்கு உணவு படைக்கும் ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி தெய்வம் இங்கு உணவு படைக்கும் ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி வரப்பிரசாதம் பெற்றிடவே பெற்ற வரம் யாம் அறியோம் ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி உயிர்க்கெல்லாம் உணவளிக்கும் ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி உயிர்க்கெல்லாம் உணவளிக்கும் ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி இட்லியை நீ அளிக்க ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி வாழ்வில் இடர்கள் நீங்குதம்மா ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி இட்லியை நீ அளிக்க ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி வாழ்வில் இடர்கள் நீங்குதம்மா ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி சட்டினியை நீ அளிக்க சட்டனவே சங்கடங்கள் சடுதியிலே மறையுதம்மா ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி உயிர்க்கெல்லாம் உணவளிக்கும் ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி உயிர்க்கெல்லாம் உணவளிக்கும் ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி சாம்பாரை நீ ஊற்ற ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி எங்கள் அகங்காரம் அழியுதம்மா ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி சாம்பாரை நீ ஊற்ற ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி எங்கள் அகங்காரம் அழியுதம்மா ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி ஓங்கார ரூபிணி நீ ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி ஓங்கார ரூபிணி நீ பாங்காக பரிமாற பாவங்கள் கரையுதம்மா ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி நித்ய ஆனந்தீஸ்வரி